that enough synthesizers?
We've got another one.
Hey, you gotta bring the energy, lady. Hey, we needed that though this morning.
Yeah, that was nice.
You came through clutch, Joe.
Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do. It is your boy BDammone and Coach Gomez in the house once again at Level Up Productions. And this is episode 111 of Along the Wire. Thank you for listening and thank you for watching on YouTube. This is the Showdowns Abound. We've had a lot of good football over the past couple nights.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into that and some future matchups as well. We've got an interview for you coming up, and we're gonna go over our pick'ems again. And make sure that you subscribe, like, and share this on YouTube and on your Twitter and on your Instagram. And we thank you for all the support. We got some big stuff coming up. So let's jump into right now our scholarship roll calls. We good?
Do it.
All right. Let's see. First off, we got Mr. Darian Murphy out of Floresville.
Yeah.
Got 2 offers. The first one being from Boston College, and the second one being from New Mexico. So the Lobos and Boston College are down here in Texas, and they see some talent coming out of Floresville. Darian's a kid that we talked about previously. Just waiting on him to, I guess, bloom, and
Yeah,
so to speak.
with the kid getting a late start, God works in mysterious ways.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have a sophomore season last year, due to some issues, health issues. Had a pretty good freshman year and is really blooming this junior year.
Yeah.
So, getting a late start as far as varsity repetition,
Mm-hmm.
experience, but at the same time, the little bit of games that he has put in this year, he's made a statement enough to catch the eyes of Boston College and New Mexico.
Yes. East and West. So congratulations, Darian, on those offers. That's what it's all about, getting that opportunity to continue and further that education. Next up, we got Holy Cross, Romello Portillo, running back.
Yeah. Tough kid, runs downhill.
Stetson College, congratulations, man. Stetson College extended that scholarship offer. That was his first D1 offer. So congratulations on that. He actually has 30 offers, 30 offers in AIA Division II combined.
Really?
So, congratulations on that first D1 and congratulations on all the other 30 on the other 29 offers as well. I know that when I went to go see him, he was actually injured, and then he started playing the very next week. So I'll be glad to get out there and try to go see him again once these playoffs kick up. Next up, we got Wyatt Reyes, and we got Albert Perez, both from Cornerstone. We got Reyes getting an offer from UIW, and you have Perez getting an offer from Bethany College. So congratulations on those offers. UIW offering a kid from here in the city. Always love seeing that when the hometown schools offer the kids here.
Yeah.
I know that they love seeing that when those D1 schools see them here, it's opportunity to play big ball and still stay home.
Yeah, for sure.
And last but not least, we got a kid that we went and saw earlier in the year, Von Martinez, quarterback at Warren, and he received a scholarship offer from Illinois College. So congratulations on that. That one was, I think, on Wednesday he announced that. So congratulations on that, and we're going to be talking some Warren football in just a second. So to Darian, Romello, Dawayad, Albert, and Vaughn, congratulations from Along the Wire on your scholarship offers and the opportunity to continue your education and playing the sport that you love. And and your abilities being able to afford you that opportunity. So once again, everybody, make sure, like Coach Gomez always says, stay on top of your grades. You're not getting any of these offers if your grades don't meet the criteria.
Basically, you're not cashing in on these offers.
Exactly.
Because, there's a lot of times they'll give you these offers in advance. And there's some kids that may be borderline, but they're waiting on things like, SAT, ACT, which I think with COVID right now, they've kind of threw that out the window.
Yeah.
So,
so grades are paramount.
Yeah.
Your grades are paramount. So if you can knock out some extra credit stuff, do it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't come down.
Your core grades.
Yeah, your core grades.
Curriculum, knock that out the park, and it'll give you more options because you don't have the SAT, ACT holding you back.
Exactly. And that, because I know kids put a lot of pressure on themselves on those tests.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of kids not think that they can make it into the college they want just based off of a test.
Or some kids aren't great testers.
Exactly.
They're great students. They do everything great in the classroom, but for some reason, that test, kind of gives them a little cold feet or something. Second guess themselves.
And you forget everything that you would naturally know.
Yeah.
Like,
psych yourself out.
Exactly. So once again, congratulations to the athletes that we named. We have your graphics going up right now. And keep on pushing, keep on going. Those offers don't mean those are the only ones you can get. And I see a lot more offers, especially coming up for Darian here in the future. So once again, congratulations from Along the Wire. And we will be right back with our next segment and a great interview. So stay tuned. Hey, what it do? It's your boy BDammone and Coach Gomez back again for this segment. And we've got something different that we're going to try to do, something we're going to kick off. And it's called the Coffee Corner Convo. It's a quick conversation with some of the best athletes and players here in San Antonio, Texas. And we are blessed to have our first guest be the quarterback for one of the hottest teams in the city right now, and that is Mr. Wyatt Begeal from Cibolo Steele High School. What's going on, Wyatt?
What's going on, sir?
Oh, nothing much, man. Thank you for your time on this coffee corner morning, because to be up this early, you need some coffee, man. And so we definitely thank you for your time. So let's kick it off. How are you feeling right now?
Man, I feel wonderful. Coming off a great team win on a Thursday game. We're going 4-0 in district. Really rolling as a team. Defense playing great. Offense started to come together a little bit, gelling. And I'm excited to see what the rest of the season holds.
Exactly. So exactly how you said, y'all are 4-0 in district right now. But it didn't start off that way. And I know that we had some conversations in the off season, and there was some maturing and some new guys who you had to, take the reins on and be that leader for. And y'all started off 0-2. So what has been the change or the difference in those first two games as opposed to starting district?
Yeah, absolutely. Our first two games, Life Christian and Reagan, those are two teams, not to be put down on. Those teams are very good teams. Not saying that we shouldn't have won those games. We absolutely should have. But like you said, a lot of maturing and just getting better. That 1% every single day, and that's really 7% every week if you're getting better 1% every day. And it just gets the snowball rolling. You learn from the previous weeks, and as the season goes on, you get to start playing your best football. And that's our goal as a team. Guys who hadn't played positions at this high of a level, or maybe hadn't even played the position they're in at all, kind of start getting some games under their belt. Allows them to see the game. Game starts to slow down for a lot of people. And then, like I said before, man, it just got us rolling.
Awesome. So as you just said it right there, is something that we've always said here on the show, is that playing at a certain level, you're in a district that every single week it's like a playoff atmosphere. Is there any part of that plays into the focus of, okay, well, now it's district time, this stuff counts? Well, not that it shouldn't ever not count, but that importance
Right.
and it magnifies what these games mean. Would that be a part of getting some of the things right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We take it one game at a time, 1 week at a time. And like you said, playing in our district, it's like a playoff atmosphere every game. Every game's going to be close. And anything could happen. So we have to be on top of our game at all times, winning all three phases of the game. And then it really just keeps us more focused.
Exactly.
Setting us up for playoffs down the road, playing in the district, playing in a harder district. It sets us up for the long run.
Right.
How difficult has it been, not having some big name guys like you had the previous years? Well, when your freshman year, sophomore year, and your junior year, when you had, like the Brendan Brady's there, you had the Xavier players there, you had the Caden Stearns there, you had, all these guys who ended up going and playing big ball somewhere else. Y'all really don't have any huge names as y'all did in the previous years. How difficult has it been for you as a leader to try to bring these guys up to par? Are you always in their ear? Are you doing extra workouts? Because like I said, y'all don't have those names on that roster like y'all did in previous years, but yet you're pulling it off and figuring out a way.
Right. And so it all goes back to this. We talk about this as a team all the time. Having these big name guys is amazing. And, it helps us out a lot. Having Jalen Jones last year, who, if I'm in trouble, I can throw off my back foot into the end zone and I know he's going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Of course, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
You look at our team and we might not have an athlete of that caliber, but we still have players who are as smart and who want to be there. So it's all about your want to, it's all about your attitude, and it's all about your effort. If you can control those three things, man, you control your own destiny. So if you're showing up to workouts every day, you're on time, you're giving it your all, no matter, you take Michael Jordan, for example. He's not the biggest, strongest, or fastest, but you can argue he's the best basketball player of all time. And I feel like that's how our team is. We're all bought in, and we all have one common goal in mind.
That's great, man. That's great.
So next up, y'all have South San, correct?
Yes, sir.
And not to, well, I can look ahead, you can't. But it's setting up to be where your final three games are going to be even magnified more with the matchups that you have. And I know Coach Sines is going to kill me. So of course, I'm looking forward to that Judson rematch. And I'm looking forward to seeing y'all play Smithson Valley because those are the three top teams in your district right now. I'm just gonna say I can't wait for that Judson. That game last year was incredible, and that's probably the best game that I've been to. Man, so I can't wait for that. I guess that's all I wanted to say was I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see what the opportunity like you're talking about your teammates. Everybody at one point in time, Caden, Jalen, Daniel, they didn't have a name. So who's gonna be the one? Because right now Wyatt is the name.
Yeah,
Wyatt's the name. So I wonder who's gonna step up and be that person to be the next. Who's gonna take that lead from Wyatt to be like, okay, this is what I learned under Wyatt. Who's learned from X player.
Yeah.
Who's gonna take that mantle from him to be that influence? Because I've said it. Wyatt's the best quarterback in San Antonio for the situation that he's in. If there's anybody who's going to be passing down any type of motivational or, hey, this is the importance, growth, and this is how you do it, it's going to be Wyatt.
And that goes back to what I tell you during those Thursday and Friday night games. Having a quarterback like Wyatt with experience helps out a lot.
And you can't pick against them.
Nope.
You can't pick against them. So sorry to talk about you while you're here.
No worries. I appreciate the kind words.
But so I'm definitely looking forward to those last two games. I understand Southside. Hey, Coach Barone, don't kill me. But those are the matchups that the city and that I know I'm looking forward to see exactly who's going to step up and be that person. But you looking ahead to South San, what are some things that you want to shore up? Maybe you want to put some medicine in the candy right now for some of your teammates. but what are some things that you want to shore up about Steel football versus South San before you get into those games?
Yeah, man, just continue to do what we're doing. Really, like I said before, our defense is playing great. Gives our offense, a ton of opportunity, whether that be a stop and a three and out, make a punt, turnover, and we get great field position. And then our offense, young on the offense side, but like I said, that we've got rolling a little bit. Continue to keep that snowball rolling. Continue to stay on the right track, and that's just gonna breed good things. Coach Sines always preaches. Always stay positive, and momentum will come back your way. And I feel like we've done a great job of that. Whether we be down or in a tight game,
Right.
we've always stayed positive. So I think this coming week will be another great opportunity to go 1-0 on the week and to continue doing the good things that we're doing and really focus on winning all three phases of the football game.
All right, before we let you go here, I know we've been asking some serious questions, but I never want to be too serious all the time. So, since we
Right.
got you up early this morning, what is your breakfast of choice?
Oh man, my breakfast of choice. All right, so I'm gonna have
Drink.
to go with
Hey, your drink, your protein, your wheat, your bread. What is it?
all right, I got you. So my dad taught me this. All right, so you get a little bit of white rice, and you put it in a skillet, and then you kind of heat that up a little bit, and then you put some eggs in there. You scramble some eggs, and then you get oh goodness, what is it called? It's kind of like it's a lunch meat of some sort, or you can even use like fajita meat.
Is he
Is what I
giving you
like to
some
use.
mystery meat? What is that?
No. It's like he'll make fajitas, and I'll
Okay,
put
okay.
the fajita meat in there. So I'll scramble all this stuff together, and then on the side of that, I'll have like a bagel, big glass of milk, an orange, and then a banana.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, that's what winners are
Yeah,
eating here in San Antonio. So, hey, make sure y'all take those notes down. Y'all take those notes down, and y'all get y'all a Beagle breakfast. That's exactly what we'll call it. We'll call it a Beagle breakfast. Hey man, once
and
again,
man, we do it different.
hey man, thank you once again for your time and much continued success for you and Steel. And I will be out there and see you on those sidelines, man. Me and Coach Gomez will be out there to support. Any last words that you want to say before we let you go, man?
No, man, I really appreciate y'all's time. This has been great, and I wish y'all the best.
All right, thank you very
Likewise,
much,
man.
man. Likewise. Take care.
Yes, sir. Take care.
All right, that was Wyatt Beagle, one of the prominent players here in the city and the leader for the Cibolo Steel Knights. So hearing his voice, hearing how he's taken on the season, it makes me even more excited, like I said, for the games coming up. I'm not overlooking South San, but I am overlooking South San. I know that there are things that they have to work on and that they may have the opportunity to do against South San. South San being the only school in that district other than Wagner with the late start. So not being as far along, you would think that there's some opportunities there for their lesser players to have a chance to hone some of their abilities against a school like South San at this given time. So I'm looking forward to that Judson matchup, and I'm looking forward to that Smithson Valley matchup. What are some of your thoughts on it?
On the Smith Valley and Judson,
Yeah,
man, it's going to be a shootout. I think that both teams are going to have to establish the run to be successful. I don't see that they both have, I know the kids work hard, but I don't think they have that quarterback on either side that can really take over a football game with throwing the ball in the air. We both know that Smith Valley has an offensive line.
right.
Judson has an offensive line. So it's really going to be who controls the trenches, the line of scrimmage, man.
I really like how whoever made the schedule is scheduling it out, because you got Smithson Valley and Judson and Wagner all playing each other in the last three weeks.
Yeah.
Like, so kudos to whoever made the schedule, because it's just so happening that they're going to end up seeing each other all at key pivotal times.
And that will determine who your district champion is going to be too. Those last couple of weeks, I believe.
Exactly, because Steele's leading right now.
So points allowed, points field, all that's going to really
Yeah,
count at the end right here.
yeah. So definitely looking forward to those matchups. Once again, thank you, Wyatt, for coming on to Along the Wire for the Coffee Corner Convo segment.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that breakfast, I'm gonna try that out. And if I get the runs, Wyatt, I'm gonna try that out. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for your time. And we are gonna be right back with our pick'em segment as we get this show rolling and keep it rolling. Once again, Along the Wire, Coach Gomez, BDammone, Level Up Productions. Thank you for watching. What it do is BDammone and Coach Gomez. We are back for our weekly pick'em segment. I can't get my words right. Forgive me. Segment. So we're gonna see exactly what it is. Ready to jump into it?
Ready.
What it do is BDammone and Coach Gomez. We are back for our weekly segment of pick'ems. When we go over the San Antonio area and the surrounding area schools of games for the week and see who comes out with the better. So let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
Thursday night. We'll start with Thursday night games. We had Memorial and Sam Houston. Who did you have?
Memorial.
I had Sam Houston. You won 50-34. Memorial won. New Braunfels, Smithson Valley. Who'd you have?
I had New Braunfels.
I had Smithson Valley. Smithson Valley took that one 21-0. Between Brackenridge and Burbank.
I had Brack.
I had Brack as well. Brackenridge won 29-21. Brennan and O'Connor.
I had Brennan.
I had Brennan as well. 30-7. Brennan was the victor. This was a good game early on. Holmes and Marshall, who did you have?
Marshall.
You had Marshall?
Yep.
I had Marshall as well. Marshall won 40-13. But they were actually trailing in that game, too.
Yeah, in the beginning of the game.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, because Holmes coming off that win versus Jay.
Yeah.
Holmes coming off that win versus Jay. I was like, okay,
they're gonna go on a two game winning streak.
Exactly. All right, Bernie Geneva versus St. Anthony. Who'd you have in that one?
Bernie Geneva.
I had Bernie Geneva as well. You went against St. Anthony?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Why didn't you go?
I had Bernie Geneva.
Why'd you go against St. Anthony?
Because I'm from Houston.
Oh,
Let's see. Yeah, so Bernie Geneva won 56-7. Oh, speaking of scores, did you see the Miller score last night?
No, I didn't.
86-76.
86-76.
Yes.
Was it basketball, you mean?
You know, because I mean,
Yeah.
you told me about Body, so
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. But I also told you that I thought they had a decent defense. I told you about Body.
Man. Yeah. So yeah. Shout out Andrew. Why is my screen just going on? Temple Central Tech
Versus Holy Cross.
Who'd you have?
Holy Cross.
I had Holy Cross as well. Temple took that game 40-14.
Ooh.
I know you're broken up over that.
Yeah. Ooh.
Big Holy Cross supporter.
Yep.
Tomball Concordia versus Antonian. Who'd you have?
Antonian.
I had Antonian as well. Antonian won 34-10. Houston St. Pius versus Sachs. Who'd you have?
I had Houston St. Pius.
I had Houston St. Pius as well. But let me not go off of memory. Let me look at this and make sure that all my victories are accurate.
Oh, so you're not making sure they're accurate. Come on now. You heard that?
What?
Joe? He's trying to make sure my victories are...
Antonian, yes, I had Antonian. And Houston St. Pius, I had Houston St. Pius over Sachs. Central Catholic versus Katy St. John the 23rd.
I had Central Catholic.
I had Central Catholic as well. Central Catholic got that dub. 40 to Twanky. Let's see. Navarro was canceled. Seguin versus Harlandale was canceled. Harlandale. Wagner Steel. Who'd you have?
Steel.
I had Steel as well. Steel won that game 42 to 27.
The Tula Jordans.
No. We're going off the.
Oh, okay.
This one. Poth versus Natalia.
I had Natalia.
I had Poth.
Who won?
Poth won.
Damn.
33 to 26.
That was a close one.
Yeah. Okay, here's one that might even it out. Who'd you have between Carn City and Stockdale?
Stockdale.
I had Carn City. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure. I just remember picking.
You had Stockdale. Who
I had
won?
Stockdale. Stockdale won. I thought I had Carn City, but Carn City won. Blanco versus Lago Vista.
I had Blanco.
I had Blanco as well, and Lago Vista won 42-28. Divine versus Crystal City. Who'd you have?
Divine.
I had Divine. Divine won by shutout, 42-0. You know, like I hold some of these grudges from high school on certain schools, and Crystal City's one of them. I don't know why. Like,
Why? What did they do to you?
I don't know. Nothing. I don't know. Nothing. Nothing. Carrizo Springs versus Hondo. Who'd you have?
Hondo.
I had Hondo as well. Hondo won 65-7. Bandera versus Pearsall. Who'd you have?
Pearsall.
I had Bandera. Bandera lost 22-24. Speaking of another crazy score, did you have Wimberley or Austin achieve?
Wimberley.
They didn't achieve a victory, did Austin? As Wimberley won 80-0.
Who did you have?
I had Wimberley. Did you have Cuero or Gonzalez?
I had Cuero.
I had Cuero as well. Cuero won 56-7. Somerset or Uvalde?
I think I might have went with Somerset. I think. Hold on. I'll tell you right now, though. I went with Somerset.
Somerset lost. I had Somerset as well. They lost 32-27. Fredericksburg versus Lampasas. Who'd you have?
Lampasas.
I had Lampasas as well. Lampasas won 56-20. All right. Canyon Lake versus Burnett. Who'd you have?
Burnett.
Burnett lost 28-16.
Who did you have?
If I could quit getting emails. Let me go to my text message real quick. That's going to be the way to go from now
I just leave mine on my email that I sent. On my sent emails, look, and it just rolls down for you.
Why don't my emails to my text messages?
I don't think you ever sent them. I think you're winging it right now with the show.
I don't think you ever sent them. Here it is. Boom. What game was that? That was Burnett Canyon Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Burnett and Canyon Lake. I had Canyon Lake.
So that means you lost, right?
No, I won. Won 28-16.
All right.
Medina Valley versus Lockhart. Who'd you have?
Lockhart.
I had Lockhart as well. Lockhart lost 7-0. They tried to win.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to win. Medina Valley just was one up on them. Literally.
And Lockhart was undefeated.
No, really?
Yeah, I thought they were like 7-0.
Lost that way.
What was the score?
7-0.
I think they were undefeated, bro.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, Comfort versus Luling.
Comfort.
Comfort won 76-0. I had Comfort as well. Yeah, I had Lockhart over Medina. Yeah. Let's see. All right, rolling down. Harper versus Center Point. Who'd you have?
Harper.
I had Harper as well. Harper lost. 18-21. Let's see. Bruni versus Charlotte. Who'd you have?
Charlotte.
I had Bruni. Bruni won 34-8.
Damn, you're up on me by 2 now.
Let's see. Lavernia versus Pleasanton. Who'd you have?
Lavernia.
I had Lavernia as well. Lavernia won 42-0. Kerrville Tivy versus Floresville. Who'd you have? Floresville lost 42-35. I had Floresville as well. All right, now back to some in the city games. Roosevelt versus Johnson. Who'd you have?
Johnson.
Johnson won 49-34. I had Johnson as well. Edison versus Jefferson.
You don't have to go with the alma mater, and they won.
Who's that?
Edison.
Edison won 23-6. I had Edison as well. Edison as well. South Sam versus Clemens. Who'd you have?
Clemens.
I had Clemens as well. Clemens won 35-0. Reagan versus Churchill. Who'd you have?
Reagan.
I had Reagan. Reagan won 35-7. Poteet versus Randolph. This was a good game. Who'd you have? Poteet won 14-7.
Who'd you have?
Poteet. Harlan versus Stevens. Who did you have?
Harlan.
I had Harlan as well. Harlan pulled that off 37-34. Warren versus Taft. Who'd you have?
Warren.
I had Warren as well. Taft won 35-14. Alamo Heights versus Bernie Champion. Who'd you have?
Man, I had Bernie Champion. They lost.
I had Bernie Champion as well, and Alamo Heights pulled it off 23-20. Ooh. And that is it for the time being right now. What are our standings?
You are up by 2.
Okay. Kennedy versus Highlands. Who do you have?
I got Highlands.
I have Highlands as well. Cole versus Marion. Who do you have?
I have Marion.
I have Marion as well. Clark versus Madison.
Madison.
I have Madison. Brandeis versus Lee. Brandeis.
So you might get your first W this week. Your first W, bro.
It's looking like it. It's looking like it. So
I guess I could only be the number 1 guy for so long, man.
well, I mean, I haven't knocked you all the way down yet.
True. Anything. I mean, but
it's
we
rolling
have
that way.
we have the same picks though.
It's rolling that way. And other games were canceled.
Yeah.
So
Gave you a chance. Yeah. Sample.
Gave you a chance. So that is it for this week's Pick'em. We will be right back with our segment for games covered and talking about some future games. Hello, this is BDammone with Along the Wire, and this is Coach Gomez here. We are back at Level Up Productions, and we are here to bring you this week's games that we've covered. I'm just playing with you.
I know you are. I didn't know whether to be serious or keep going. He's looking at me. I'm looking at him like, okay.
Yeah. So, man, I do that because last night I watched some great football between Harlan and Stevens. So it had me in a good mood after the game and ready to be pumped up and here in the studio this morning. But before talking about that game, I want to talk about responsibility in winning.
Yeah.
Last week, Brennan lost to Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we just went over the pick'em, and Warren lost to Taft.
Yep.
Yesterday, I went live as we were here in the studio working on some camera views and stuff like that. And I said, okay, Warren, now there's a responsibility. You're first in district. Now, what comes along with that is you can't have a letdown.
Yeah.
And I said exactly like this. I said, you don't beat Brennan and lose to a team like Taft. With no disrespect to Taft, but just going from you're a 4-1 team going up against a 2-2 team.
Yeah.
Now there's an expectation that holds a weight when you are number one. So let's see how you carry that. It was exactly how I said it. And they turned around and lost to Taft. Now I'm going to go back and see, but with the score of 35-14, that's a beating.
Yeah.
You lost. So I want to see exactly how that went. My cousin Tremaine's on the squad, so I'm gonna pick his ear and see exactly how that went. And I'll be reaching out to the Taft and to the Warren players. But there's a responsibility that comes with winning and an expectation that you might not feel it, but it's there.
Yeah, for sure.
And you know it's there because you can beat a team like Brennan, and now you have these expectations, and then you turn around to Taft, and all those like, okay, well, now we know that this wasn't a real thing, and the circumstances of you winning were bigger than you actually. You took advantage of the situations that you had. It might not have been the coaching or that you're a better team overall.
Yeah.
So that's one of the expectations in winning is that when you're at number one is that you know how to do it. And when you know how to do it, you will not have these letdowns. Because look at Brennan. If Brennan turns around and loses 2 in a row, then, okay, they might still be stuck on Warren. But no, they turn around and slap O'Connor.
Yeah.
30-7. So that's the difference in knowing how to win and coming up on a victory due to circumstances and still needing to know how to win.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going with that. That's where I'm going with that. So it's a lesson learned in growth in both areas and why certain teams carry themselves the way they do, because they understand that winning is also a responsibility and there's things that you have to do to continue to win. And that's one thing that you'll notice when you're talking about these schools like Brennan, Johnson, Judson, Steele. You heard it from Wyatt, period, was being accountable every day, getting better every day. You aren't going to be hearing that from a lot of teams with losing records.
No.
Because there's things that you got to do to even get to that point.
Yep.
So
and those schools that you named off, they've all already established a brand. That,
right.
Everybody's aware of them. Why? Because of their winning ways.
Right.
And it all starts, in the classroom. It starts in the weight room. It starts, for them, it started last year when football season was over. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And some teams don't take it like that. Some teams, once July comes, the end of July, we'll get rolling.
Right.
No, a lot of those great teams, good teams, it starts off in the off season.
And I'm so glad you said that, because both of what you just said and what I'm about to say leads me to this game, to this Stevens and to this Harlan game. Had some Stevens players hit me up, and you wouldn't be able to tell that they lost that game because they lost 34-37, last second field goal. Field goal was partially blocked and still managed to get through. But every player, and even if you look on Twitter right now, yes, they wish they had the W, but they know that there's a lot of positives that they can take from that game and being in a shootout with a team like Harlan. And Harlan is at that point between Warren and Brennan, because before the season we were thinking it was going to be Harlan Brennan. So I have them in between Warren and Brennan in the mentality of, okay, we've had some down times. Now we're trying to figure it out, because not in one time at all in that game, the second play of the game was a fumble that Stevens took back for a touchdown. Harlan acted like that didn't even happen, and they just continued to roll. So given the type of season and the game that we watched with Harlan, that's a totally different squad that we saw play Brandeis, and they were able to focus. They didn't get down 35-7 like they did versus Brandeis, and it was like, what's going on? What's going on? It was just boom. We're in a fight. We're punching. It might be Stevens. Stevens stepped up to the plate. Brashears, 11, your boy, Ethan Gonzalez. Ethan Gonzalez, 6 catches, 142 yards, and a touchdown. And not simple catches. Like, these are catches where he showed some know-it-all of how to be a receiver and get position and get his hands, and is a late catcher. And we actually chatted about that, because he actually understands that the later you catch a ball, the later that a DB has to react to it. So to even be able to have that type of mindset now, the first thing he said was, I've been working on that since last offseason. So when you said that exactly, that the winning started back then, that's the difference in Stevens this year. That I see a lot of them taking that, taking this opportunity, and no one's talking like they lost that game.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a time ran out type thing. They had blocked 2 of Harlan's field goals, and that one got partially blocked, and they were just in a fight. I could have watched that game until, it was a great game to watch. Now, on the Harlan side, it was total opposite of the Brandeis game, to where it was like, okay, nobody's assuming control. And one of the big differences, McDade was back.
Yeah. That's always great to have your running back.
Him and number 22, I got my rosters right here. I want to make sure I say the name right. Richard De La Garza. Richard De La Garza has some crazy feet. More quick than fast. And I think that him running next to AJ, seeing how they vary, but AJ's feet and his vision being a little bit better than the junior right now, is going to help him be even better for next year. And if he can get a little bit more size, but keep that foot speed, that's going to be a sick running back to have to cover at Harlan. And one of the things I did notice is that they ran the Wildcats so much, because a part of me is like, okay, you need to have Cannon out there, because I'm like, okay, you need to have your best player, your quarterback, out there. But they ran that Wildcat to a really good perfection of a good mix, and they even had AJ taking some snaps, and they had De La Garza taking snaps as well. So that was really good to see. That's a school that uses, and they run screens, they run slants, they run the deep outs, they run posts, they run everything, and they know how to use every single player to get their hands on the ball.
Use their athletes to be successful out there in the field.
Exactly, and that's one of the and I could see where in the first game, when you don't have AJ, I could see where you take a part of your playbook out. Now that part's back in, and it looks like a totally different squad. Yeah. And that comfortability that you have with having him back and Cannon, that screen game looked really nice. The screen game looked nice. Their jet sweep game looked nice. On the game tying touchdown, Cannon wasn't even in the game, and that was De La Garza, who ended up getting credit for the touchdown pass on the same play that was a fumble on the second play of the game. Same exact scheme, and they ran it again. So showing confidence and going back to that play is like, okay, that's just a fluke thing that happened. This is what we do, and boom, Dre takes it and goes in for the touchdown. So kudos to both Harlan and Stevens. I want to make sure I don't leave anybody out, because it was just a masterful game all around. 37-34 was 2020 at halftime, 27-27 going into the fourth quarter. So it's not like they were just dominating each other, but it was a really good game.
It was a chess game.
Yeah, it was a really good chess game. And shout out to the punter. Kicked a 63-yard before Harlan went down and scored on that field goal that was partially blocked. He flipped that field from the 20-yard line all the way to the 17. So I was like, and he boomed it.
The Stevens punter?
Yeah. And he boomed it, and I meant to tag him, but I had to give him his props for it on Twitter. I was half asleep, so I didn't have my stuff in front of me, and I was just like, I need to make sure I get these out. But he flipped that field, so that wasn't just a short drive. That was an 80-yard drive that they had to make to even get to that field goal. So that was awesome to see. Props to the Stevens coaching staff. I always got to say, they didn't have one head scratching play call at all. And I told the guy who was in the booth with me, Jermaine Washington from the San Antonio Express News, I was like, that was one of the best call games to where if Stevens has the ball one more time, I think they win that game. And I didn't question any call that was ever ran because they ran to their power. Number 34, running back for Stevens. Got you. Dominic Cardenas. Kid's fast and runs powerful behind his pads. I have a highlight where he trucked a linebacker, and I haven't put it up yet, but I'm going to put it up. And it was just like, and he saw him. Like, he hopped over one Harlan player, and it was like boom, boom. Like, it was like 2 steps, and boom, he hit the linebacker. And, like, he literally just bowled him over and just was like, okay, you know what? So you love seeing that. So it was hitting. It was great play calls. It was playing to your advantages. Leonard Adams, they had him playing safety.
How did Dre Spriggs have a pretty good game? Did he catch a few balls?
Yeah. He had a touchdown catch, and 2 if you count the jet sweep that tied the game. He had a catch from Cannons and that one, and he actually had the first catch of the game on a receiver drag on a drag route across the middle that went for like 23 yards, but the very next play was the fumble. So they were able to get him the ball in many different ways, and that was really good to see. So he had to get Michael Bell 3 touchdown catches from Cannon and he had one that was wide open, and he had one that was a toe tapping 4th down and 10 catch in the back of the end zone. And then he had one that was it looked like an option route in the end zone, but man, was this safety from Stevens lost. Bell faked the out, stopped for a second, and just went back to the back shoulder, and the ball was right there, and he just boom. And the safety was way off. So he thought he was running to the corner, and he just it was an awesome throw by Cannon, and good play call. Great play call. So it was an entertaining game, man. And it was one of those games where I had a hard time going to sleep, but I had to make myself go to sleep. So being able to talk about this now, props to Harlan, props to Stevens. Stevens, you are on your way up. And I get that Harlan had their issues, but this looks like a squad that doesn't look like that same squad versus Brandeis. If this squad plays Brandeis right now, it's a totally different game. With the mentality that I saw them having in this game compared to the first one that we went to, different teams.
How would you say that who's the guy who stands out on the Stevens defense and on the Harlan's defense? Is it still that defensive line for Stevens?
Number 90 on Stevens. Number 90, Corey Amos, defensive line, was making a lot of plays. And if I'm looking at defense for Harlan, you said his name last night. That was
David Myers.
David Myers was the only names that I was hearing
constantly.
Yeah, but the tempo of the game was good, and the really good situational football. I think there was a couple of Brashear's growth and his trust in his receivers showed That was huge, and I'm so glad that Stevens was letting him throw the ball because he was finding his receivers and tight ends.
How did your mom do?
He
Elliot.
he had 3 catches, I believe, at key points. Yeah, he had like 3 that I remember off top. I don't want to not give him his credit, but yeah, he had some nice catches. It was a great game, man. I still got highlights that I got to
know
put out.
when you called me when I was on the way back from Houston, and you were telling me, man, you missed a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I still got clips. I still got at least a dozen clips that I can say that I'll put out today.
You know, Harden's been in some close games this season,
Mm-hmm.
and I think every game they've played in this season has been a damn good game.
Yeah.
They figure out a way to battle and get through it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a team that doesn't give up. They don't give up easy at all.
Definitely. And I think that's a team that's on their way to having it figured out, but it's a team that that understands and knows that they have to fight, and they're going to fight. So I think anybody who's playing them after this point is going to have their hands full.
And shouts out to the coaches making adjustments and using that wildcat, utilizing their
Mhm.
personnel to be successful. Because there's a lot of coaches that get stuck out here in the games that they stay with what they got and that's all they want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's other guys that have open minds and they try different strategies, try different things, and turn out to be successful like Harden's doing right now.
Exactly. Don't be scared to try to put your talent in the right position. Test yourself.
Yeah.
Test yourself.
And not only that, the kids see that you try to make it fun and you're getting everybody involved, and
that gets their focus.
Exactly, and it gets their attention.
And that's one thing. It wasn't a lot of. I don't want to say bad penalties, but it wasn't a lot of It wasn't a lot of mess up. There were penalties in the games, but maybe 3 of them were valid.
There were more. There was consistency on the offense side.
Exactly.
Got you.
Exactly. So once again, congratulations to Harlan and congratulations to Stevens. I know Stevens lost, but I have to think about Stevens in a different light after seeing this game, given the capability that they were able to play at and sustain, and they're a young squad. You got Brashears, who's only a sophomore, so you got him around, and you got a lot of junior talent. And you have a lot of junior talent. So Stevens next year is going to be a team to watch for Northside because you have a lot of turnover going over at Harlan. So we might be thinking Stevens Brennan next year if O'Connor stays down how they are right now. So, hey.
Yeah.
Something new to look forward to in Northside football.
No doubt.
So let's go ahead and close it out. Thank you for watching Along the Wire episode 111. You can follow Coach Gomez on Twitter at
STX7v7.
7v7, and you can follow me on Twitter at BDammone. I will be putting up more clips and highlights from this game. Follow me on Instagram at Along the Wire and follow me on Facebook at Along the Wire Cast. Thank you to Level Up Productions. Thank you to Treyway for the intro and outro music. Thank you, Wyatt Begeal, for your time today for the Coffee Corner Convo. And thank you for tuning in to Along the Wire. And I'm excited and ready for these games tonight and ready for these matchups coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah. Thrilled about all that, boy.
Oh, yeah. So, peace, horns up, birds up, 210. We out.